everyone, my name's Larry, aka Simudad. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Somewhere in Thuringia III Terralife Plus, episode 10. I hope you're all well. I hope you had a great week so far, whatever you've been up to. And I do hope you are enjoying the series so far as well. We are second week of July. The animals are fine and dandy at the moment. They have got 26,500 litres of feed left. 9,500 litres of straw and about 1,800 litres of slurry. But the big news of the day is they have produced some lovely manure for us, which we'll let that build up a little bit because that's 1,600 litres off of about half, about 500 litres of straw. So we'll just leave that build up and then we'll dump that into the factory here. Now, the big news of the day is our winter wheat field is ready to harvest. Not expecting big things off here. It's a 4-acre field. Field info mod predicts about 9,500 litres off there, so that's, you know, that's fine. The straw will be good for us. If nothing else, the crop will bring us a little bit of money, but again, nothing crazy. If we get across here, so this is our meadow grass growing, and this is currently in the forage stage, but we want to get that to ready to harvest, so that's 21 out of 27. And then we've got our clover growing here, also 21 out of 27. Still says forage stage as well. So yeah, everything is going along nicely. Now, first things first, what we want to be doing is getting ourselves a little harvester, because we want to get our winter wheat harvested. So I have a little got on here. This is probably going to be a lease job. I did sort of contemplate getting a big old loan out and just buying a harvester, getting some more fields and stuff, but currently opted against that. What I think I will do is I'll get one of these John Deere's T-Series. Do I want that? I think I'll get a John Deere T-Series. Really want the crawler track, want the wide tires. Do we want Michelin's? Yes. Means that's fine. GPS, yes. Number plates is 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. Just leave that. Okay. So that's going to be fine. So that's going to run us, going to lease it. So it's going to cost us 17,000 to lease it. Yes. And then we want to get a header for that. We want to get the, so we'll get that header. Be absolutely fine. So it's going to be 3,000 to lease that. Probably want, that we just got, probably want to get one of these. Fine, we'll lease that as well. Then one last thing that we want to get, so we want to get ourselves a little bit of a trailer. And to be honest with you, it doesn't really need to be anything fancy. It will be, I think the Class Carrot can get the call up. Go with the extension, get the Michelin tires, wide, chassis color, grey is fine, no plates, okey-doke, and we will lease that as well. That was a big old Spenzy spends. What we'll do is we'll drive our class up to the store. Here we are, lovely job. So we're going to head up to the store. We'll get everything loaded up and we'll get it all transported back here. And get started on our winter wheat field. Now, I do have, on the farm, I do have a silo, I believe. So we can store the winter wheat. Until we manage the best price. So we'll connect this up to there. Yeah. That's going to flip around. Just going to I think what we'll probably actually need to do is it's got the dolly wheel on it, so we'll around here and flip it around. It should see us about right. Alright, lovely jubbly. It's a bit tight around here, boys. We are lovely. Use this the communal grass here to station. Stop there. That will go in there like that. I'll head back, grab the trailer and the harvester. So yeah, we've got our winter wheat to deal with on this episode. And then next episode, I don't think we'll have anything to do again. Yep. Yeah, next episode out, I don't believe that we'll actually have anything to do. And then it might be the week after that we'll have the spelt to harvest out. Again, I need to check, but I'm pretty sure the spelt is not currently of any use to us in any of the feed mixes. We do need to have a think about some capital upgrades to the farm, because there's some things that we need to put down and stuff. So yeah, some things we need to put down, like the like some of the clamps and stuff. I did sort of mention a couple of episodes ago about potentially considering doing some goats or something like that. I haven't really looked into those and what the feed requirements are, but that's going to cost us a little bit if we wanted to put some of those down. So yeah, we might have a little bit of time in around on the farm, or I may do that off recording. And so let's get unfolded and get going. Yeah, so in theory we should fit the entirety of this field in this one harvester. We shouldn't need to empty on the way around or anything like that. So Whether that rings true or not, who knows, but we'll see. See how we get on. But we are harvesting our first field that's actually ours. No, we will pick up the straw. The straw will just go straight in with the cows. It's not really worth it to sell it. I'll have to have a little look to see sort of best price and stuff for the winter wheat, or sort of when's the best time to sell it. But it's just unfortunate that the winter wheat is not very useful in feed. Obviously, we will still have field of winter wheat or of some kind of wheat, because or barley or something that gives straw, basically, is what I'm trying to say, because we will need straw sort of throughout our farm. What I need to actually do, because I haven't looked at it for a while, is actually consult the spreadsheet that I made, because I said about putting all this straw in with the cows. I don't recall actually if straw is required in the feed mix or not. If it's required in the feed mix, we will need to bale some of this. I do apologise for any sort of little coughs or clears of the throat. I'm currently battling tonsillitis, bacterial tonsillitis, for the second time in 2 weeks. So I'm immensely pissed off about that. Yeah, I had it last week. The point of recording, so that was the week commencing the 1st of September. I had a 5-day course of antibiotics, and then it sort of basically cleared. And then the last couple of days, which would have been the 9th and 10th of September, just been progressively feeling worse. To today, the 11th of September, he caved and went back to the doctor, and she basically said probably should have been prescribed a 10-day course of antibiotics instead of 5, which is why it's come back, because although your tonsils were clear after the 5 days, the actual bacterial infection probably wasn't completely gone. So I'm back on antibiotics, which is fine. I don't drink or anything like that anyway, so it's not like I'm missing out on anything. It's just the faff of having to remember to take them. We're going to hit two headland passes on this field. Should keep us pretty nice. Currently at 30% full. If we just stop here for a little sec and we look in the menu, obviously we get the little auto save thing. What are we up to? Winter wheat. Price fluctuations. So the best price we're going to achieve is actually 351, which is January time, and we're currently best price 324. So if we hold it to January, we can make about an extra 27 euros per 1,000 litres, which will equate to about 200 quid, 200 euros. Which, to be honest, seems like hardly anything. I don't recall when I set the profile up what I set the economic difficulty at. My gut feeling is, based on those prices, that we probably set it up on hard economic difficulty, which is absolutely fine. It is what it is. So we're gonna get ourselves around here. As I said, we're gonna do 2 headland passes, so we get back to the start here, and then we'll start cutting across the old field. Yield wise, we're not looking amazing. We'll have a look in more detail. I think the bit we're doing right now is probably in the high 80s, low 90s region. So yeah, it's not fantastic, I've got to be honest. But as I said, it was in the ground. Other than the fact that we carbo limed it and probably fertilized it, I don't think it's really sort of cost us anything. And it was already in the field when we bought the field, or bought the land, so it's not really that big of an issue. Need to sort of decide what I want to do next in terms of land purchase. I'm sort of inclined to take out a... Are you gonna go straight, or... Yeah, eventually. I'm sort of inclined to take out a fairly hefty loan over a long period of time. I don't know what the maximum loan that we can get is at the moment. I'm guessing probably around the sort of £1 million mark or €1 million mark. But yeah, like I said, we've got some capital projects to do around the farm. We'd like to get done, building of some silage bunkers, maybe an animal enclosure, etc. So do we press on, get a loan that will cover a small expansion and the stuff that we want to do around the yard? It's plausible. Just my only thing is I don't know what land we would buy, because I remember when we were looking, when we were setting up, the land around here is really not good on potential yield on the precision farming menu, so I don't really want to be getting a field that's like mega far away, do you know what I mean? I want to get a field that's relatively close that we can keep an eye on. We're not going to be having to traipse equipment across the map, halfway across the map. So yeah, if we do that, if we get a massive loan, then we'll have to really look at our options. Fortunately, this field is not big enough that we could just leave it running and then look at the map whilst we do that. Now, ordinarily, I would always ensure that my harvester pipe is on the outside of the row so that a tractor could get up alongside if needed. But as I said, I don't believe that we're going to have to empty the harvester at all on this field, which is why I'm not really particularly paying attention to it. If you watch me on stream before, you'll know that generally speaking, I'll try and do the harvest properly. Like I said before, I can't remember what episode it was, but the reason we probably want to expand is it'll give us more stuff to do in all the extra sort of weeks of the year that we've got, and B, we do, although I accept that we're going to have to be buying in an amount of stuff that can't produce, like molasses and other things like that. If we can grow it ourselves or produce it ourselves on the farm, then I'd like that to be the end, or sort of the long-term goal, if possible, is the ability to, or not the ability, but the setup to be that we've grown pretty much everything that we can on the farm. Which is why we're even considering expansion anyway, because I think as it stands right now, I don't have enough in the way of land to grow everything we need. Like I said, it's actually been quite some time. I think I think we were up to episode 8 on there, which were basically everything up to episode 8 and including episode 8 was filmed, or I say filmed, recorded some time ago at the beginning of the summer holidays. I think we released up to episode 5 on the channel, and then episode 6, 7, 8 were just sat on my hard drive for ages, waiting to be edited with summer holidays and stuff. It just hasn't been possible to find the time to sit down and edit those, so that's why I'm not 100% sure, although it'll look like to you guys, well, hang on a sec, you just got the cows like 2 episodes ago and you just mixed up the feed. How can't you remember what goes in a feed mix? The easy reason for that is because that episode was recorded 6 to 7 weeks ago, and then I haven't recorded anything since then. So episode 9 and 10 being this episode, they've been recorded in September. So what I'll do is, once we've got all of this harvested, we'll probably just store it. It's really not worth us to store it, but I think we will just store it for now, and then I'll have a quick look at the spreadsheet for the recipe, check what we need to do with this straw. In my mind, I think I'd sort of set on using it just for bedding in the cows, but obviously if we need some for the feed mix, which I got a vague feeling we do, then we'll have to bale it and store it. But we will have to keep an eye on the bales, because one of the features of Terralife Plus is that bales do now rot away. Now, I don't know, because I've never got to that stage, so I don't know how quick that process is. I don't know if it's like a couple of months worth of weeks, or whether it's like a year, couple of years. I don't really know. So we will just have to sort of keep an eye. Hopefully there's some kind of like bale health indicator somewhere, just so we can kind of figure out where we're at, and just keep an eye. So I think, although we're still only going to be one harvester load, I think we might just about see. I think we'll probably be alright, actually. I think we'll be fairly close to 9,500 estimate. Probably maybe about 9,700. Oh, we will get the pipe out ready. Obviously, when we've got some bigger fields and we are harvesting, we will be looking at having some courseplay workers going for us, because we'll be filling up the harvester and need to empty it. So at the moment, this field doesn't really justify it. So yeah, not bad, not bad. So 9,641 in the hopper, and we'll hop into our class Xerion 3000. Head on over to pick that up. There we are. So that's all gonna fit in there now. Winter wheat. So that's doing that. I'm gonna have a spreadsheet. Right. So we do need wheat straw. So we will need to, at the very least, bale some of this. what we do in terms of storage for now, I don't know. Probably need to figure that one out. Now, if I recall rightly, this should take... So that should go in there. So we'll just keep that for now. Like I said, it's not worth like a whole lot of money for us. But it's certainly worth something. So we will keep it. We'll have a quick look in the sales whilst we're here. Nothing real crazy worth it. Doesn't look. Oh, that's fine. Right, so that trailer requires 200 horse hours. Leave that class there. So what we will do is we will track down one of these somewhere. If we chuck them down one of those, it will take up to a 240 centimeter bale. If I chuck that down there, that should be fine down there, I think. Let's go and check it out. Yep, that'll be fine. It sounds really muddy when you walk over it, but it's all good. Then I think we've got to configure that. So we want that to be configuration. We want it to be... the only thing with these is you can only store one type in there, so that's fine. So we want it to be wheat straw, and we probably want it to be, I think, round bales, because the baler that we... not baler. The thingy bob. What am I trying to say? The straw blower thing has got it's for round bales. So round bales it is, which is, being honest, my least favorite. I think we'll probably, I reckon we'll take the Vermeer. No license plate, that's fine. We will buy that as well because we'll be using it quite a lot, so that's absolutely fine and dandy. Let's get in a tractor. So I'm going to run up to the store, pick that up, and then I'll catch you back on the field. Righto, so we're coming back up on the field now. We are set our bale size. And I'm just going to pick this up. Paying particular attention to the alarm tones. These will do 11,000 litre bales. What I may do eventually, I was talking about it, I think, last episode or episode before, maybe even a couple of episodes ago. I was talking about how generally I like to have certain things, tractors set up to do certain jobs. So with that in mind, we are using the Vermeer baler. So what we may well do, or think about doing, is there is a self-propelled Vermeer baler. So we may consider running with that instead. Just because I figure we're probably going to be doing a sort of decent-ish amount of baling. I'm on the fence about baling up our various different grass type fields, because I say that they're going to get silaged, and that's a large part of why we bought that Fence Tego forage pickup trailer, because stuff like the grass and the clover and all that stuff, talking that that's going to be dropped in a bunker, flattened out and fermented. So just really not sure there's much point baling it, because we're going to have to then break the bales down to be able to put them in the bunkers anyway. So but the plan is we'll still have quite a lot of straw, so you know, it will get used if we do splurge on it. Yeah, this is a bit out of the norm for me, because I'll be honest with you, my usual preference for bales is the square bales. And the reason for that is a very simple reason. Obviously, with the round bale, you have to sort of keep an ear to the ground when the alarm starts to go, and then you think, right, actually, I need to slow down now because the bale's going to drop out any minute. And you can carry on driving, but then you just drive over the swath, and then the bale's in the way. So that's why I prefer the square bales, because square bales just do square bale things. You just drive, and then you they just fall out the back. So you know, all good. I'm not going to be like totally pedantic about making sure we get every single last drop of straw. You know, these bales are 11,000 litres. We're already on our 5th bale. So at the end of this, we'll have 55,000 litres of straw, and we'll be sort of ploughing the field anyway, so any residual straw you're gonna, oh, you're not quite empty, right? I thought it was full up. What I don't know, sometimes what I do, when especially what I've done in the past on bigger operations, like we had a big 4X multiplayer map at one stage on, well, we had two actually. One was on Chilliwack, which was a Mr. Farquhar server, and me and Linuan played that for ages. And then we had one on the the combined counties map by Cavalier Roy. So what I used to like to do on that was I used to have it so that, oh, come on, man. I used to have it so that my could get workers picking up the bales as well, the bale swaths. But the way you do that is really, really easy. You just save a course, same as your harvester, and then you get it going following the harvester, and follows the harvester line and picks up all the swath. But you do have to sort of take care on how you set it up for the harvester. Generally skip a row, and then that tends to work out alright. Occasionally you get a bit where it's like gets stuck on a bale, but for the most part it works Pretty nice. Yeah, loads of great things to come on this series. We are finding our feet still with Terralife. I think I think I've been doing not too bad, I'll be honest with you. That's about as blowing my own trumpet as I get. It seems like it's going all right. Mr. Farquhar did comment the other day. He sort of said that he hoped that it would come to FS25 someday. I know in the run up to launch for FS22 that they were talking the main prize was an FS25 launch, that the FS22 was essentially like a soft launch beta test. But being completely honest, I haven't seen anything since then that sort of concretely says yes or no is coming to FS25. Now, I did see that chap Alien Pool, who's involved with it, I did see he did a stream the other day, and didn't watch the stream. I haven't had the chance to actually sit down and watch it. It's about an hour 45 from memory. And in the description it alludes to that he would be talking about plans for Terralife on FS25. But Lin Yuan also mentioned to me the other day that if it came to FS25, then that might just be a persuading factor that he needed to get FS25. It's a bit of a tricky one, to be honest. I'm finding myself in this rock and a hard place at the moment with FS25, because I took a really strong stance against FS25 and against Giants, and you know, I don't want to turn this episode into, or finish this episode with it being like a slag Giants off fest, but I did, you know, I took a pretty strong stance. You know, I didn't really mince my words or anything like that. I basically said FS25 on launch seemed like it was a pretty blatant cash grab. And, you know, some people disagreed, some people agreed. And that's fine. You know, in life, you aren't going to agree with every single person that you come across, but that's what makes life interesting. But having watched Mr. Farquhar's videos of late, his on the map challenge, which is up to date. It's playing the latest update on FS25, and I've got to be honest. As much as I'm still pissed off, excuse the French, as much as I'm pissed off for Giants, and you know, I don't want to give them any of my money or anything like that. There's still a sort of feeling, or there's a growing feeling, that maybe the game is kind of somewhere nearing what it should have been at release. Don't want to say it's looking good or anything like that. I certainly still think that there's sort of stuff that probably needs sort of resolving. I'm just going to park this up here out of the way. So yeah, I just find myself in the last, you know, the last little bit. I think there's something's happened, right? And I'll give you, you know, I personally don't think that FS25 is coming to the channel anytime soon, if at all. You know, I'm still feeling like overall, I'm feeling like, you know, what I said stands. But I came up with this concept for a series a long time ago, and I sort of managed recently to, I was spurred on by Mr. Farquhar's spurred on by Mr. Farquhar's from the map challenge series, really, because it seemed interesting. I liked the way that it was going, etc., etc. Anyway, I managed to flesh it out into a whole series idea, and I put like the first episode out on my Patreon page, link in the description if you want to watch it. It's available to free and paid members. What I didn't actually look at then was how many bales we actually made. So anyway, I came up with this idea. I recorded a number of episodes on it, and I put the first one out as like a soft launch. So we got 11 bales off that. So we got what would that be? 122,000 litres of straw off that, was it? Not bad at all. Right, what we need to do now is pick them up, and then we'll finish the episode, because the episode is going on as it is anyway. So we'll get this picked up. Yeah, anyway, like I said, I put the first episode out, and I got a little bit of feedback on it, and feedback was quite simply, and it was nice idea. I like the premise to the series, but you just aren't going to get the views on it on FS22. And I could do nothing but agree. So I didn't release the other episodes. I had recorded, I think, like the first 7 episodes. And I really liked how it was going. I know there's that argument for, well, you were the content creator, it's your channel, play the games that you like, and that is true. I say that all of the time. My view is, if you enjoy a game, you should play it regardless. That because it's got to be fun for you. But also, I do feel like there's got to be some kind of little reward. But yeah, he sort of said, or the feedback that I had was, nice idea, but on FS22 it's just not going to do anything, because people aren't interested in FS22. And I think the only reason this Terralife has sort of survived or carried on, or the views have been decent, is because it's Terralife. I think if this had just been a regular FS22 series, I don't think it would have got any views. So yeah, it's a bit of a rock and hard place, because I feel like I've backed myself into a corner. Not backed myself into a corner, I've taken a stance which I still stand by, and I don't see any way of backing down from that, really, without compromising my own integrity, which is not really something that I'm looking to do. So yeah, maybe down the line we might get FS25, but at the moment it's a bit like, some days I wake up and I think, do you know what, bollocks to it, let's just do it, and do that series that I wanted to do and keep Terralife Plus going, and then very quickly talk myself out of that, because I think, well, actually, no, you made a stance, you did it for the community, for whatever that's worth, considering I'm such a small timer, and you should stick with that. So yeah, now the kids are back in school, I'm trying to try and get back on a regular schedule with this series, and a regular schedule with the SnowRunner series and the Debt-Free Owner Operator series. I will say, I did mention it there a little bit, I'm not plugging it too hard because at the moment, with the summer holidays, it's been hard to keep up with the sort of advertised perks, if you like. But if you do want to support the channel sort of monetarily, completely optional of course, then you can do so on the link to Patreon in the description. I think memberships start at around $1.99, I think. So we'll get these loaded in here. But yeah, completely optional. There are various different perks to being Patreon members if you're interested. That is not helpful. So that wouldn't take those because it said, or it recognized it as compost raw. Well, that is interesting. Anyway, that's fine. We've got them there. There is a rotting indicator there as a percentage, so we'll be able to see how quickly they're rotting. And we will need to adjust accordingly. But yeah, that is, I think, going to do us for this episode, guys, because there's not really much else to do now. Other than wait for our spelt field to be done. Or, I mean, it's not true, actually. We won't do on this episode because we've already done a lot on this episode. The episode's already over an hour. We've got to prepare this field next, so let's have a little look when we can, if we wanted to plant winter wheat back in there. The winter wheat planting season is in October, November, December. So we could do that, or we could maybe chuck some winter barley in, something, but we'll figure it out. We've got some field prep to do as it stands, so we will get on with that in the next episode, provided that our spelt field is not ready to be harvested. But it's not been a bad episode altogether. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, and any thoughts, feedback, tips, tricks, comments, anything you like down in the comments below, and we will catch you in the next episode. Take care.